Good evening, and thank you for tuning in tonight, episode 4 of Decoded. Tonight we have a special guest, Mr. Hakim, aka Alpha Talk. Say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hakim Taliaferro. I go by the name of Alpha Talk.
Hakim is here tonight. Our topic is the Alpha Man, the last of a dying breed. I called it that because it seems as though those men that act like kings, act like providers, act like protectors, act like comforters are very far in between nowadays. I get a lot of stories in on Code Red Flag about women actually being all those things for a man, but not having a man being those things for them.
I totally agree. I feel as though the society today has actually manipulated the mindset of our men, and social media and all these outlets. The mindset has changed. The gentleman has died.
So why do you think that is? Because social media has changed a lot of things, definitely, and television. But what do you think was the crux of that? When did that change become?
I think it has something to do with the fathers and not raising the children correctly. And back in the day, you received a spanking. If you didn't, open the door for your mother, you got a spanking. And I feel like nowadays, just adjusted behavior. It's approved. It's fine. Nobody wants to make their own way. Everybody wants to follow the crowd.
It's funny you talk about the mother father issue there, because something I hear all the time is that mothers don't raise men. Like a woman, a single mother has a difficult time raising a man. They raise their girls, but it's more like they coddle their men. So they let these young boys get away with things that fathers wouldn't have let them get away with because they're trying to overcompensate for that missing male figure. What do you think about that?
Wow, that's a really good question. Mothers raising men, it's a very challenge because it's this one aspect. You always need that male aspect. You need a role model. You need something to model after. And I feel like, a woman can only give her aspect, the emotional side, but you need the dominant side, the manly aspect of it.
Okay. So I would say that even if it's a single mother out there that's raising a young boy, should have uncles or brothers or even
Yes.
a male best friend that could
Yes.
play that role model role.
And I totally agree. You need someone who is a role model that they can look up to, someone that they admire. Because you can have anybody that's just a man.
Yes.
But you need someone that they admire, so that they're like, you know what, I want to be like him. You know what, he's successful. He has the car. In the material mindset. So that's what you can use as tools to breed some of these men into real men.
It's seeing you use the term real men, and I'm trying not to use that right now because I get flack for that, and I understand that because by birthright, all boys will become men.
Yes.
I can't take away manhood from any man, no,
Yes.
regardless of how he acts. So I don't want to call you a real man or man or grown man or grown boy. I'm going to give you that. You turned 18. You can now go to jail. You can now do whatever it comes with that birthright at 18. But there's a difference between what an alpha male is than a regular male. There's a difference between a man and a gentleman. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
What would you say those differences are?
As far as a man and a gentleman, I feel like, certain things is opening the doors, certain adjusted behaviors, opening the doors, making sure the woman gets to her door properly when you're leaving her from the car,
Definitely.
calling her to make sure she got home safely, how you treat your grandmother.
So somebody's going to give us flack about that because men are going to say, that's what the problem is with women nowadays. We
Yeah.
feel entitled. We feel entitled to have our doors open. We feel entitled even to have a man pay on the first date. We'll talk about that because that's
Yeah.
funny to me.
I
Because there's a certain gentleman that's on my page that gets upset about everything that's written there and says that that's why I don't pay for a first date.
Yeah.
So you can't be my man. Like you can be my friend, you can be my guy friend, but
Yeah.
you're not showing me alpha male and gentleman characteristics. So why would I want to go any further with you if
Mm-hmm.
and make you the head of my household and follow your lead when you're not even putting your best foot forward because of whatever hurt you've had before?
Well, you know what? Let me show you an example of what alpha males do.
Okay.
Today, Mr. Alpha Talk came bearing gifts.
Oh yes.
I brought
Oh,
you
look
some
at this.
fine wine.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
From Spain. Thank you very much. We're not getting paid for that advertisement, so you will not see the name on that bottle. But yes, when a man comes by, he bears gifts. Come to my home, and I have something in your hand.
And not only that,
So-
I also brought her the fragrance, the bed fragrance, which is actually handmade by Alpha Talk.
Okay.
So this is a sample of it.
Mm.
And I'm
Oh,
actually
this is the
wearing it
women's
now.
fragrance.
And when
This
I
is-
came, this is a unisex fragrance. So this is for men and women. This is an acronym. BED is an acronym for Become Everyone's Desire. It's a fragrance that actually works with the laws of attraction to help you capture the person that you desire,
Oh, wow.
whether
And
it's business or personal.
it's crazy because when he walked in today, I said, "Wow, you smell really good." I said, "Is that your fragrance?" And he was like, "Yes." I said, "Okay, sit over there because I'm celebrating my celebratory and I don't need that law of attraction pulling me towards you." But wonderful job on the fragrance. And
Thank you.
You can buy those online?
Yes, you can purchase them online, and they also will be in specialty boutiques as well soon.
Okay, so where can they get them online right now?
LuxLifeScents.com. That's LuxLife, scents as in fragrances.com.
Okay. And I love, you smell great. Wow. Ladies. Mm.
She's flattering me right now. I'm blushing inside.
Okay, so we have alpha men, and then we have what I like to call alpha frauds or alpha
Wow.
fakes,
Yes.
because they will mimic what they believe an alpha man is going to be, but it's not ingrained in their personality. They'll kind of say whatever they think a woman wants to hear, or they've watched enough TV and they've watched enough talk shows or whatever to kind of figure out how to walk the walk.
Wow. I feel as though in order for a man to truly become an alpha male, you have to experience a heartbreak. That's one of my myths. I feel like you have to experience a heartbreak because you have to lose in order to gain everything.
Okay.
And, you know, the reason why you actually have to transition into, I don't want to say real, authentic man.
Okay.
You know, as far as keeping it realistic and keeping it real.
Okay. I'm going to get personal with you then.
Okay.
Because now that you're talking about you have to experience something, I want to hear about this experience that you had that kind of helped you become this alpha man.
Well, Mr. Alpha Talk hasn't always been this genuine in relationships, I'll say.
Okay.
You know, I did have some issues in a relationship before, and my woman actually, you know, she stepped out on me with another woman,
Oh,
and that affected me vastly. You know, I was deeply hurt by that,
okay.
and that was the first time I experienced a heartbreak.
Okay. My guests always come on and try to get cryptic with me. He kind of says, you know, I wasn't always, I did some things, but he never said what he did. So you know I'm about to drag it out of him, right? Okay, let's talk about this. You were in this relationship with this woman.
Yes.
And you were not yet what you consider an alpha male at that point. How old were you?
I was in that relationship. I was only 21.
Okay, so you're about 21 years old,
Yeah.
still wet behind the ears a little bit. You know, babies. I call it breast milk on the breath. So you were 21 and you were dating this woman for how long?
I was dating her from 21 all the way to 27.
Oh, 6-year relationship.
Yes.
And so when did this occur in your relationship? This stepping out on you.
This occurred in 2009.
So how old were you then?
I was 25.
You were 25, and you kept her around for 2 more
Yeah.
years. Beautiful. So you said that there were certain things that you did.
Yeah. So,
Let's talk about that. You know,
We're actually going to put this pill up now. No, so I'll say this. I feel like no man can actually be faithful to a woman until you understand what it is like to be faithful to a woman. And when I say that, you have to understand how the woman feels when you treat her You have to learn how she feels, because I feel like men, we always look at it from our aspect. We have to put ourselves in the shoes of the woman. Like, how would I feel if she did this? And I feel like we always just are in a dominant manner.
So you were unfaithful to her.
Yes.
So you were unfaithful to her with other women, and
Yes.
she steps out with another woman. You know, some of my
Yeah, it's a little.
some of my fans will be like, "Well, why ain't y'all just do an open couple
And you
thing?"
know what? I suggested that we just include this third party. I suggested it, and she was like, I'll try. I'm like, try? Oh, you already got. You might just
That's your girl.
Just bring it here. Get some wine, and we gonna make.
Oh, that's not happening with this wine tonight, Hakim.
No, okay.
I'll just let you know. Hold mine. So, how did you find out she cheated on you?
How did I find out? I just had my spidey sense was tingling. It was just like.
So men have intuition as well. Do you
Oh
hear this?
yes, absolutely. My spidey senses were tingling, and it was actually her coworker. It was her coworker, and I just sensed, because she already told me that she was bisexual.
The girlfriend.
Yeah, and I still accepted her.
Okay. So you were dating a bisexual woman.
Exactly.
So alpha men don't have a problem dating a woman.
We don't have
you don't, and you're alpha male. Let's put it like that.
I don't have a problem dating a bisexual female in the past. Now I don't have time for that. I know exactly what I want, and I feel like that's something that's it's not going to work unless you're cool with that.
It's crazy because I have a guy that I went to. Both of us went to the same undergrad, and we're kind of in the same network. And he's bisexual, but he's married, and he's married to a woman, and they have a child. And he's started, people tell me all types of things. This kind of works for me because people open up to me, and because they know I'm not going to release their names. Everything's going to be confidential. So he started explaining to me how he wants to have a threesome with this guy and his wife. But the guy is on the down low. So the guy is afraid to do it.
Okay.
And so I'm like, well, I don't know. It's kind of weird to me because I don't think I could date a bisexual dude. And when I explained that to him, he said, well, what difference does it make? Because I'm not going to cheat on my wife, not with a woman or with a man. I'm going to be faithful is faithful no matter who you cheat with. And he made a really good point. That's a great point. But for me, I don't see that being able to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, moving right along to some more questions. It says, I have a reality check tonight. The reality check says, alpha men won't stand for a woman who wants to outman him. Act like a lady, think like a lady, and just maybe you'll be able to hold on to a man that acts and thinks like a man.
Wow. I agree with that. And one of the things that in alpha male and alpha female couples, there has to be some submissiveness somewhere.
Okay.
You have two heads. You need a foot. You need the foot. Sometimes somebody has to relax. And that's one of the balance issues in those power couples.
Well, let's talk about that because I have a power couple event coming up November 2nd in Washington, D.C. at Avery's Bar on 8th Street Northeast between the hours of 5 to 8 p.m. Get your tickets, powercouple.eventbrite.com. I want to talk about that because alpha men, I don't know if they are more attracted to alpha females than they are submissive females. But me being an alpha woman, I know that I love alpha men. I like a take charge dude. It's like waiting to exhale. When you are dating a guy that is just on top of his stuff and he can lead and you can trust him to lead, it's like
I can relax.
I don't let me. Women are built biblically to be your helpmate.
Yes.
And I don't want you to get that confused with me wanting to be a housewife.
Yes.
And that's not what I want to do. I definitely have my own ambition and my own dreams that I like to aspire to. But I want them to be able to synergize with my man's dream.
Yes.
But I want to be able to go, he's leading and I could trust him to lead. He could coach the team and I could submit to his will because he's going to lead us in the right direction. He's looking out for the interests of both of us. But back to the question. what kind of women are you attracted to? Are you attracted to these alpha women, or are you attracted to more submissive women?
So that's a really good question because I am attracted to I am attracted to alpha women. You know, I like women that have it together. You know, they're very focused. They know what they want from a man. I don't like women that are, you know, just out. They just exist. You know, you just exist. You just have a heartbeat. Where's your life?
Where's your life?
What do you want to do? You know,
Anything you want to do, baby.
I need a woman that, you know what, if I go away for a business trip, she could take care of the fortress.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think you got to be an alpha woman to be able to take care of fortress, because there are a lot of women that don't have the ambition and the drive and I'll even say stubbornness, because there are times that I am stubborn. I will never admit that again, so y'all better save this. There are times that I'm stubborn. That will be able to take care of your home. You don't have to be an alpha woman to take care of the home. So if you're only looking for a woman that's going to take care of house and hearth, then you don't actually need an alpha woman.
I would say it's more than that. It's actually the traits. I'm attracted to women that aren't afraid to take risks.
Okay, a risk taker.
You know, pop out to that. You know, I like that. You know, it's attractive to me to a woman that knows what it's like to start from the bottom. You know,
Now we're here.
Yeah, now we're here. You know, and whether, you know, her entrepreneurial endeavors, that just always is like a plus for me.
Okay, so how does that work for you? Dating these alpha women, what do you have to do? Because you talked about submitting, and definitely women should submit to their husbands. But in the boyfriend-girlfriend phase, how does that work?
Wow, that's a really good question. I would say as far as that, it's all about just letting the laws of attraction work. Let everything just flow naturally. Don't force anything. It's like trying to force a circle into a square. It's just not, you know, just let it flow.
Just let it flow. So,
yeah.
Do you find yourself sometimes submitting or easing your will to your woman's will?
In certain aspects, correct.
Okay, so compromise is important.
Oh, absolutely. You have to be open-minded, and you have to understand that it's two sides to every story.
Exactly. Moving on to our next question. We have a gentleman. First of all, you guys should know that you can call in with questions. I do have my phone ready to go. The number is 202-677-5272. Again, the number is 202-677-5272. If you have any questions for myself or for Mr. Alpha Talk here, it doesn't have to be about an alpha man or anything else, but some of you guys sometimes want to hear a male's point of view, and this is your opportunity. Earlier, I got a question from one of my followers, one of my fans, and it's from a guy. And I always appreciate it when the men send in questions, because 80% of my viewers are women. So when the men are sending in questions, it tells me that they care as much about relationships as women do. Even though guys try to act like, oh, I could just replace her the next day, or I don't really need a woman. BS. We need each other. His question is, what skills must a woman have to have a positive relationship with a true alpha male? He says, because every woman ain't built for that.
Yes. I can answer that and say creativity and selflessness. And when I say creativity, I mean, for example, instead of just taking me to a restaurant, how about you bring the restaurant to me? Not just cook the dinner. How about you put some candles all over the house? You know, be creative, you know.
I'm sorry, what is your sign?
Taurus.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know, and, you know, you can be creative. It's okay. You don't have to always just do generic things. You know, step outside the box.
It's funny you say that, because one of our guests in November is going to be Stephen Lobotier from Stephen Speaks Relationships. And he posted something today speaking about the first date with a woman. He said, you don't have to spend a lot of money on the first date. You can just keep it simple.
Yes.
And so I agreed and disagreed. I said, true, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Yeah. But simple to me means unimaginative and lazy. So you could be, like you said, you could make me dinner with the candles. That's not simple. Simple is just dinner.
Yeah. Simple
is a Big Mac. You know, I'm not gonna wait. I'm an entrepreneur. But I'm not even gonna take time out for that.
It's not. If you add fries, it's a little bit.
No, you're not gonna tell me to supersize it and think I'm gonna be happy. You're gonna need to date a beta chick for that. So I think sometimes people forget to be creative and throw some thought into what they're doing.
Absolutely. And that's what I encounter a lot of days. I meet these women that I feel they have so much potential, they're just not using it.
Don't date potential, baby. Don't date potential. Do not. I think a lot of people will let you know that potential is what you see in that person.
Yes.
Ambition is what that person sees in themselves. Date ambition.
Yes.
Date ambition.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Date and ambition.
Date ambition.
Wow, that's a good one. I like that one.
Okay, so we're going to get into a little more of the juicy questions. I got an inbox that says, and I want you to answer this from the alpha male perspective. Of course you have to, because that's what you are. She says, can you tell if someone loves and cares for you by the way they have sex with you? And if so, what are they doing that shows it?
That's a really good question. I would say yes and no. Certain things you don't do to the person if you're just meeting them. Certain things have to be...
I told you about these cryptic things. We grown here. We are grown here. What are these things that you don't do to a person if you're just meeting them?
Are we really going to get extra?
Yes. We're grown.
Okay, well...
I'm celibate. They're not celibate.
Okay, well... Swallowing.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to go straight to the... Yeah, so swallowing is not something that anybody just does for you unless they really like you.
Okay.
For a female.
Okay.
For example.
But there's some women that just are loose like that. I don't know that, but I'm thinking.
Yes, but I feel like you can sense it in this. When you have passionate sex, it's like you're joined as one. You can feel it.
Okay.
And when you leave, if your legs are still tingling, that's passion.
Okay, so that's on the woman's side. I want to hear it from a man's side. I want to know, what is it that a man would do to show a woman during sex that he loves and cares for her?
Wow. That's really deep.
Because y'all do it all. Deep. Day one.
I would say it's talking to her and just certain things in her ear, just trying to speak to her soul. Don't make love to her body, make love to her soul.
Okay, all right.
Speak to her spirit. Try to imagine your hearts connecting. Really think about your heart connecting to hers, and naturally it just.
Hakim, you're not answering my question. That sounds really great, but I'm gonna call you on that. You're not answering my question, and I want to say it's because the question, my answer was no. I said the one thing that a man.
You don't think it's possible?
That's what I'm saying to you. Listen what I'm saying. I said how a woman will know that a man loves her is when they're during sex, is when they're having sex as a married couple. Anything before that.
Yeah. I agree. I do agree with that.
It's sex, because men view sex differently than women. Yes or no?
Yes.
So with women, especially a woman like me, sex is a very emotional act. Mm-hmm. My love for you is shown through the sex that I have, because that's how I am. I'm going to... Don't worry about how I do it. But there'll be things that, you'll know because of the sex I'm having with you. But with men... Sex is just another act. Sex is like walking. If I'm attracted to a woman, I'm kind of feeling her, and she's feeling me. Mm-hmm. Boom, we can do this. That's not love.
Well, let's say this. That is true. However, the females have evolved to now that they're actually taking a male role as well. They're just seeing guys. They're having sex with the men and picking up their pants and so I'm gonna text you later. I'll hit you up via inbox, Facebook.
I'm not built like that.
So it's nowadays it's both. It's not just the men, doing that to the women. It's the women doing that to the men.
Definitely, because I get flack all the time from women about my celibacy. First of all, I'm told that I don't dress the part. Whatever that means, my motto is celibacy is the new sexy. So yes, you can look like this and not be spreading eagle, ladies. So I understand what you're saying, that there's some women now that, like we were talking about a second ago, are wearing the pants and playing that man's role. Yes. How does the alpha male deal with a woman like that? Is that wife material to you?
No, I wouldn't. That's definitely not wife material. If that's all she wants, because usually women will try to communicate that to you, what they want from you in the beginning. They will, if you're listening. Most guys just, they're trying to have sex, or they're just, they like the girl, so they don't really listen to her. They don't pay attention. So I would say, as far as how a man deals with that, you keep it real with her. You're not, if you're sensing that she only wants sex, don't talk about anything that relationship-wise, anything, unless it's going to the basketball game here and there.
Yeah, you can take it to a basketball game. We got about 5 minutes left, so we're going to hit one last question. Another lady, maybe kind of like you were just talking about. She says, I met this new guy about a month ago, and we never said that we were a couple. She said, so I went out last weekend, and I had sex with my ex.
Oh.
And while she was hanging out with the ex, she said her new friend called 2 times, and she didn't answer the phone. So ever since that, he's been ignoring her phone calls. But she said she really wants to work things out with this new guy. But how can she do that if he keeps ignoring her? So she wants advice on that.
Huh.
Let's break that down, first of all.
So, wow.
Know
what she can do? See, this is what a lot of women won't do. If she really likes this guy and she wants to catch his attention, send him some edible arrangements.
I've done that.
Send him some edible arrangements. Or if that doesn't work, send him some tickets in the mail. Send him some tickets in the mail to a concert or something that you guys can both go to.
Why are you telling these ladies all my secrets? This is Libra swag 101. It's funny you say that, because back in August, I sent a gentleman friend of mine an edible arrangement. His album was dropping, so I sent him an edible arrangement with certain things that I knew fit him. Because it's one thing to send a generic arrangement, but put some heart and creativity into it. It makes him know that you really have been thinking about him and been listening to him and been understanding who he was. But let's talk about this now.
And then go further into it, not to cut you off. When women do things like that, automatically we have to remember you. We have to remember you because, we just don't, guys do not experience that. That's very rare.
Women don't give out gifts to men?
No.
So maybe I should stop giving out. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe,
no, you're doing everything actually right, because that's.
But I'm single, so
by choice. By choice, you're
single. He didn't be like, oh yeah, love her.
I mean, it's very rare to find, it's very rare to find a woman that will, really give you not just material things, but make you feel special.
Well, I'm not gonna down other women for not doing those things, because my love language is different. Yeah. My love language is gifts, receiving gifts and giving gifts. My second love language is acts of service. So that's how I show love, and that's how I like love shown to me. Other people are touch. Like, I don't need you to touch all over me. Keep your hands to yourself and give me these acts of service. And I love gifts. Yes, you guys can send gifts.
Wine is here. I
know. Okay, but I really wanted to break this question down in a different way. Wonderful answer, but how does an alpha male feel about competition? Because they're not a title, so that's not his woman. So is she not allowed to date other men?
Competition. I feel like, what's communicated in the beginning is what matters most. If you really let her understand that you're looking to take it to the next level, or she communicates that to you, competition in my mind doesn't exist. If you let me know that you're feeling me, and I feel that when you're sincere that you say it, I see dudes, I see bowling pins. Knock them over, that's it.
Knock them over. So the competition doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So even if another guy is trying to get at her, you don't even see them, because you know what you're going to do.
Exactly. Because, whatever you think, it comes to reality. So if I think that other guys are going to start talking to her, that's what's going to happen.
Okay, so that's law of attraction for real.
Yes.
The secret. I live by that. I definitely live by that. So you're not a couple with a girl. You liking her. She's feeling you. You're feeling her. She doesn't answer your phone calls one night. What happens?
What I do is I actually just send some people over there, usually bounty hunters. No, I'm kidding. No, so I mean, things happen. I don't jump to conclusions.
So you wouldn't think that she was having sex with her ex?
No.
Even though that's what this one was doing.
I wouldn't assume that.
You don't assume the worst of people.
Exactly.
So it's not always that somebody's going to be by their phone 24/7. I don't answer all my phone calls. I don't answer all my text messages. So when that comes back at me, I have to remember that if I saw good in you in the first place, I don't want to automatically start making up red flags in my head.
Exactly.
He didn't text me back. Oh my goodness, he must not really be into me, or he must be somewhere else. Again, that law of attraction. Hey, you're gonna make that happen.
Exactly.
There's power in the tongue. Thank you so much for coming tonight, Hakim. Thank you for my gifts. Yes, I'm going to rock that. I'm going to drink this with my sisters over the weekend for Sisters Weekend. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Maureen. And I hope to have you involved with some more Code Red Flag events.
I look forward to it. And before we leave, I would like to give everyone my slogan is, I'm luxury. What about you?
Ooh, can't you tell?
Yes, I can tell.
Good night, everyone.